This is an empty pallet, and that means I have gone through everything, and well, we're gonna say how much money I made, how much work it was, and a few takeaways that I wasn't expecting.
In case this is your first video of the series, I went through a pallet of used media. A pallet's a big 4.5 foot tall cardboard box stuffed to the brim with used DVDs, used CDs, used video games. It was mostly CDs, secondly DVDs, and lastly video games. I ended up spending about 16 hours on this project. It was 4 shipments. They each had about 100 units in them, a little bit less, and they were 4 hours a piece for me to do. That includes pulling it out of there, checking for scratches, putting a label on everything. Now what happens is they go off to Amazon and they sit on their shelves until they get purchased. My criteria for this was anything over $1 profit, and I tried to stay below 80,000 sales rank. I don't know the most about sales rank for DVDs. This is my first deep dive into them, trying to really commit to it. But I believe that these under 80,000 sales rank DVDs, that's all pretty safe to sell. Based on the sales rank charts I could see off of Keepa, anything up to about 250,000 sales rank is going to sell once every 2 or 3 months, maybe even sooner depending on the seasonality. So Christmas stuff would sell faster with a higher sales rank now. But again, I'm kind of an amateur at this. Not an amateur. I can't tell you everything with certainty. So that's obviously going to be some videos down the line. In a few weeks, few months, we'll do an update. But now I want to go through what the numbers from this one pallet, and I think you will find it a little bit illuminating.
I guess first I should show you what I have left over. There are a lot of duds. I threw away a lot of the broken or blank CD cases. These are all the ones that are scratched and have to be refinished and listed again. So the number you're going to see, that's not including this. What I'm going to do is see if I can list these when they're scratched and hit the same hourly rate as I would with unscratched ones. And that's going to help me understand how much time I should spend on each DVD to make sure that I'm not wasting my time fixing scratched DVDs. And there's a lot of these over here too. A lot of just loose discs, and then these are all I'm gonna throw these mostly away. There's some holiday stuff in there. There's some audiobooks over there. But that really is what I have left over.
There are also 86 DVDs that I have sold on eBay in a bulk lot. I'm gonna get about 30 cents a piece for those, gross profit. And there's also 30 bucks of DVDs and CDs that I sent to secondspin.com in order to get just instant PayPal money. It isn't even instant, it takes 2 weeks, but they were they were low sales rank, low profit DVDs. And so I thought I could get more money selling them to Second Spin. What I should have done is just lotted them up, because it looks like used DVDs go for between $0.25 and 50 cents a piece if you guarantee they play on eBay, which is more than I got for a lot of those copies. Most of the copies on Second Spin, if they were just bargain, bottom of the barrel DVDs, got about 15 to 10 cents.
Now let's break down all of the numbers. So the total net profit I estimate off of these, and my estimations are usually pretty accurate, is $2,296. That's off of 372 units. Those are DVDs, CDs, and video games. That ends up being about $6.17 profit per unit. That is also the number here, right here. What's interesting about this is that about 60% of the DVDs were under $5 profit. So most of the money I'm seeing is from the titles that are worth more than $5. I haven't broken it down yet to see what the magic number is, but I'm thinking there's probably a lot of DVDs that are going to sell for $5 pretty quickly, and a lot that are going to sell over the next 2 or 3 months for $80 or $90.
It really is very important to take into account how long you think that the DVDs, CDs, video games, whatever you're selling, how long it'll take for it to sell. You do pay a storage fee on Amazon, but for DVDs over the first 6 months, it is essentially nothing.
So we have that 2296, and we worked 16 hours. When you divide 2296 by 16, you get 143 per hour. That number, though, is not totally accurate because there are returns, there are lost inventory, there's stuff that's not going to play, there's return fraud. So let's say there's about a 20% return fraud, lost inventory, whatever rate. Even at a 20% fraud rate, fraudulent rate, whatever you want to call it, that is still $114.80 an hour, which is pretty good.
We still have all of the duds though, all of the scratch DVDs behind me that I have my phone resting on when I film this. What about those? Let's say it takes me 4 hours to fix all the scratch DVDs and list them, and then to box up the bulk duds and list those at an auction either locally or on eBay. Let's say I can do that in 4 hours. The DVD listings are going to be easy. It's going to take 20 minutes to finish these up because I'm just putting them into a box. And I have about probably 80 or 100 scratch discs, and that should take about an hour and a half to do. So actually 4 hours is not that crazy to talk about. Let's say I can do it in 4 hours, and that boosts my total gross profit up to $2,600. That would be a lower rate per hour than the first 4 shipments, but just to be fair, that's what I'm gonna do. Even at that number, even with the 20% fraud, return, whatever rate that we talked about earlier, that is still $104 an hour. What was necessary to obtain that? You have to have a warehouse or a garage, and then I spent $400 on a pallet, well, 2 pallets, $800 for 2 of them. So $400 into $2,600, it might take 2 months to see all that, but I mean, already I've sold $400. I've already made $400 back in the first 2 weeks for my first shipment that I sent out. So it's already paid for itself. I feel very good about this. It is kind of a lot of work, but if you're willing to put the work in, you should have no issue making $2 grand a week. My biggest takeaway is going to be that I had no idea, and what really surprised me the most is that I had no idea that used DVDs in bulk sold for such a reliable amount on eBay. There's a seller called like Boomerang Clothing, I believe, who I think they're doing excess inventory for an Amazon DVD seller. I'm not sure. I've looked up the titles they have in their lots and they're all worthless for Amazon, but they're selling their DVDs without exception for at minimum 25 cents and at most up to 55 cents. Yeah, 55 cents. I believe it's people buying them for flea markets or garage sales because there are often duplicate titles in these lots. But again, I don't know for sure. I'm relatively new at DVDs as opposed to books or electronics, for example, so I'm still learning a lot. If seeing this series come to an end has brought a tear to your dry eye, don't worry, we have another pallet right here. We're going to go through it the same way we went through this pallet right here, and we're going to see if it can make as much money as that one did, further solidifying this video as a helpful tool. Don't be a shithead this weekend, guys. Thanksgiving's over, so you have no reason to, but in case you were thinking about it, just don't. See you later.